This is the independent practice for 7.5, solve and write division equations. So I come to a problem, we're just going to solve this. Solve it for p. Now p is being divided by 4, so I do the inverse operation. So divide by 4, the opposite is times 4, and this is times 4. And then 5 times 4 is 20, equals p divided by 4. P over 4 times 4 is going to leave me with just p. Okay. Now, I'm going to check it by putting a 20 in here. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. So it does check out. Okay, and you have to show your work, of course. Number 2, I'm going to circle the variable. It's w divided by 6. So now I'm going to times this by 6 and times this by 6. And what happens is 17 times 6 is 102 equals w over 6 times 6 is going to just be w. Now I have to check it. 17 equals, I think the w is 102 over 6. When I have my calculator, check 102 divided by 6, it gives me 17. Checks out. Let's do number 3. I want this g. I want to figure out what g is. So it's divided by 3.2, so I'm going to multiply by 3.2, and I'm going to multiply this by 3.2. Okay. 4.7 times 3.2 equals 15.04 equals, these cancel each other out, leaves me with g. Now I'm going to check. The way I check is I do 4.7 equals g, I think is, that's an equal sign, g I believe is 15.04 over 3.2. Now on my calculator I'm going to go 15.04 divided by 3.2, and it gets me 4.7, which is what that is. So my answer is 15.04. Okay. Now let's do a couple word problems. Sophia is buying party favors. She has a budget of $2.75 a person. So a person is going to get $2.75. And she's dealing with 6 people. So I don't know the total, like all of the money. So let's say that is X divided by the 2.75 per person is going to get enough for 6 people. So there's my division equation. Then I circle the X, and it is divided by 275, so I'm timesing it by 275 times 275, and I get X equals 6 times 2.75 equals 1650. So I think she's going to have 1650. Now, let's replace X with 1650. And then on a calculator, go 16.50 divided by 2.75, and that gives me 6, which is the number of people. So, what's her budget? She can spend $16.50. Alright, let's look at this one here. Caroline baked 3 dozen oatmeal raisin cookies for the bake sale at school. This is 1/4 the number of dozen of cookies she baked in all. How many dozens of cookies did she bake? So, we don't know how many dozens she baked. Times, or divided by 1/4 is going to be 3 dozen. Okay? So, Carolyn baked 3 dozen oatmeal cookies for the bake sale. This is 1/4 of the number of dozen. So 3 is just a fourth of the number. We want to find out how many in all. So x is my variable, and it's divided by 4, so we want to times 4 and times 4. Now those cancel, so x equals 3 times 4 is 12. So I think she baked 12 dozen total. Carolyn baked 3 dozen oatmeal raisin cookies for the bake sale at school. This is 1/4 the total number she baked. So it's kind of be 12. If 12 is right, it's 12 times 1/4, and that should get me 3. Let's check it out. 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 4 is 4. 12 divided by 4 equals the 3. Yep. So 3 is 1/4 of the total, being 12. Alright, 2 more problems. Well, actually 6, but it has 2 parts. So we have a graphic novel frame here, and we want to read the first one. If Maya has earned 30 points, write and solve a multiplication equation to find out how many points she needs to read. Now we're not doing a division problem. I want to read this again. Write and solve a multiplication equation. So she's earned 30 points. We don't know how many books she's read total. We know that a book is worth 5 points, so 5 times some number of the books is going to get to be 30. Wait a minute, 5x equals... Oh! Mia has earned 30 points. How many points does she need? How many books does she need to read to get the pizza party? So she's already got 50 points. She just needs to get 20 more points. So it's 5 times some number of books that will get her this 20 points. Now, I circle this. That'll tell me how many books she has to read. It's x times 5, so it's going to be divided by 5 here, divided by 5 here, gets me x equals 4. So if she reads 4 more books, she'll have a total of 50 points ready for a pizza party. Okay. Now, suppose she has read 7 books. Write and solve a division equation to find the number of points she has earned. Okay, so she's read 7 books. So that equals 7 books. Each is worth 5. We just don't know the total number of books. So we want to find the total number of books she's read. It's divided by 5, so we're going to do the inverse, times 5, times 5. So it's x equals 35. So 35 points. Let's see. She's read 7 books. Write and solve a division equation to find the number of points she's earned. Well, we could do it much easier by just saying, well, 7 books times 5 equals 35. But it wanted a division equation, so I had to set it up this way. If I put 35 in here, 35 divided by 5 is 7, so it does work out. Okay? Tricky stuff. See what you can do. Give it a try. And let me know if you have any questions.